tips for tackling it.
Today we have with us on One Planet Bryan, who has been motivated to build a home using alternative building materials or efficient modeling design, and I'll let you take it from there.
Sure.
Thank you for being on One Planet, Bryan.
Yeah. What can I talk to you about?
Well, what motivated you first to build this house?
Yeah, great question. Mostly, I think maybe the best way to answer that is a story. I was living in my home across town, and there were three things that really bothered me about it. One, I had to shovel too much snow, too much ice, because it had a north-facing driveway. So it just seemed like it was a bad idea. As you know, lots of homes they point towards the street for no good reason, just because everybody wants their front door to the street. The second thing is that I kind of felt like I was inside all the time, and there was this separation between me and the outside world, and I wanted to be outside all the time. And the third thing is that it was cold and really energy inefficient and an uncomfortable home. So I decided that I wanted to build a house where I didn't have to deal with any of those problems. I wanted a comfortable home, I didn't have to shovel a lot of snow, and I wanted to feel like I was outside anytime I wanted. And so those were kind of the three guiding thoughts that pushed me to build my own house.
And why did you choose green building or green design?
Mostly for comfort. You know.
Really?
Well, comfort and money. So our energy bills are super low. We don't spend that much money once the initial investment of the house was taken care of. And of course, the third reason is it just feels like the right thing to do. I was one of the founders of the Sustainable Building Program in Coconino County. And so I'd done a lot of research and understood these principles, and they just make complete sense.
Why?
I think the driving thing is comfort. So people don't understand until they walk into a house like ours that homes that are built with energy efficiency and with green building practices in mind are a lot more comfortable than the cookie cutter homes that developers throw up for cheap. They don't think about all those little things that are important. They don't think about the comfort of keeping a uniform temperature through the house. They don't think about the fact that your bills are going to cost a lot because nothing's efficient in your home. And once they build that and leave, you're stuck with it. It's really hard to change those things once a home is built. So if you think about it before you build a house, everybody can enjoy your home from there on out. The energy you spend building your house is a small part of the lifelong energy in a home.
So do you feel like your investment has been paid back to you or will be paid back to you?
Absolutely. Just as an example, we put in solar panels, so we're a fully electric home. And there's this home and also a home on the property that was, that you drove right by. So there's two houses here. They're both fully electric, and we generate of these two, both of these homes, we generate 75% of our own power. So if we only had this house, we'd be well over 100% of our energy needs. And it took 4.5 years to pay that off.
Really?
4.5 years, yeah.
That's not a very long time.
Not long at all. If you think about it and plan it, when I put the solar panels in myself, but when rooftop solar came out, they looked at this and they said, wow, your house is perfectly set up for solar. And I said, yes, it is. We designed it that way. And we're 3 years in. I've tracked all of this. I can tell you that we are on target to pay off the solar panels in 4.5 years.
Wow.
Granted, I did the work, so this is just the cost of the panels themselves and whatever I paid Rooftop to organize it and figure it out for me.
What other things can you point out that you used in your design?
Particular things. So this is a passive solar home, which means that is due south. So our house is heated by the sun. We have no forced air heating at all, so it simplifies everything, and we're not blowing around all of that junk. We have in-floor heating, so it's very energy efficiency was really the driving factor for me. I was less concerned about things like VOCs, so volatile organic compounds of paints, because those are a one-time problem. I was much more concerned about the ongoing, I don't want to say problems, but the ongoing solutions I could create with the home, which means that once you build your house, you know, it has a life, and you want to make sure that is a healthy life. So we were concerned about that long-term health, not just a one-time thing. So energy efficiency, that was the big thing. Point in our house, passive solar. We had almost very little waste in the construction of the home. I actually did this myself with my own two hands. So I never got a trash dumpster. So if you walk around the house, you'll see some of these little panels up top for the siding. They're all 4x8 concrete panels because that's much more durable, and we live in a fire zone. But I didn't cut off the pieces and toss them. I figured out where can I patch them into my home so that I had zero waste. That's just an example of one part of the material waste in the construction. I did that as much as I could. I saved myself money that way. I don't have to rent a dumpster. It doesn't go to the landfill. But I'm always thinking about things like that. Those were really, but energy was the primary consideration because that's really the biggest place you can make a difference with a home.
Well, I think so. Energy usage, it takes a lot of water
Yeah.
to make an energy plant run.
Yep.
And so by doing an energy efficient home, but building an energy efficient home, you're contributing in many ways to
Yep.
the climate
Yeah, absolutely.
crisis that
Yep.
we're having.
Yep. And we did the other things that people consider. You know, we have gray water split. We're set up for rainwater collection, but I've never really implemented those because all of our landscaping is native, and I don't water it. And mostly you use water to water your landscaping, and we simply don't really do that. We do a little bit in June, in the hottest month, but it didn't seem worthwhile to hook all that up. So you can conserve water in other ways by just using less of it, frankly.
What's your favorite thing in this house?
Do you want to see the utility room?
Sure, I'd love to.
Sure. I will say though, I love the view here. That's one of the reasons we, moved out here. It's just, we have, like I said, the house opens up 3 sides.
Is your kitchen energy efficient?
The kitchen?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did, get all the energy efficient appliances. I think the one place we kind of broke the rules is with our really big fridge. But all the rest of them are what they call it, Energy Star compliant. But mostly this is where everybody hangs out, right, is in your kitchen. And so one of the big things is to just have all this natural light in the house. And of course, light ties into energy, so we have all LED fixtures and things like that. But mostly this is where we hang out all the time, is right here in our kitchen. It's a big, open, lighted space. And speaking of having a home like this, it feels good to be in a home that has a lot of light, that is laid out nicely. And these are things that people who aren't thinking about, and maybe this is just design, you can certainly have a home like this that's not necessarily a green built home, but this is what we love about our house, is it's well designed, it's light, it feels good, and it's comfortable. And those are really important things. Sure, this is the other thing we really love. This is a masonry wood stove, and so there's really only 3 forms of heating here. There's our in-floor heating, so it's hot water that's pumped through our concrete floor. So we have a finished concrete floor, which we really like too. It's super easy to maintain, and it's just concrete. And we have a wood stove here, and we have the sun. That's it. That's our only heating in this house at all. And so this is a masonry wood stove we bought from Canada, and it comes like a Lego kit. So it's got this kit that you stack inside, and then you coat it with local stone. And this thing is huge. We had to pour an extra slab underneath, but it's just super comfortable and nice. And you can burn, since we live in a forest, you can burn the local wood, and it's all out there, and you feel like you're doing something good by clearing a tree and maybe burning some of that. We don't need it to stay warm, but it's such a nice feature. And we burn in the morning and at night for about 5 months of the year, just 3 logs each time, so that's 6 logs. For the whole winter, we burn about 1 to 1.5 cords of wood. And the back of this stone thing, on the back we have a little bench there that our kids used to love to sit on. The back of this entire thing stays about 135 degrees, wow, nonstop. And the idea is it's just the way this works is the smoke comes up in a big chamber up here and it goes down the side before it goes out. And by the time it goes out our ceiling, almost all of the heat has been removed from it, which is really nice. It's all stored right here in this rock. So it's a really, really fun, it's a great design. And it adds a nice kind of warm touch to the house. Through the bathroom. It's a tiny little utility room. Maybe you should come in and look at it, figure out how you might do this, but I'll just kind of this is like the heart of everything. So this is our in-floor heating, which I did myself, and it turns out it's really not that hard. It's really not that complicated, and people are confused by it. But once you get to doing it, it's a very mechanical thing. And of course, I love our home run system for plumbing, which is this green energy efficient? I don't know, maybe you could argue that, but what I really love about it is, this right here is the cold line to our greenhouse sink, and there is no break between right here and the sink out there. So the only leaks that'll ever happen will be one right here and one out there, because there's no connections in the framing of the house, which is really cool. And that's our water heater for the whole house, which is a real simple, on-demand tankless water heater, and we love it. It's just, you can see we have no venting. The beautiful thing about having an all-electric house is we don't have to exhaust any bad fumes from burning natural gas or anything else. There's no punctures in the wall. We love it. So this is my favorite room in the place, because it's kind of the heart of it's the heart and the brain of the house.
What's that?
Oh, this actually, because we have hard water, we have super hard water on a well that's 1,500 feet deep. This is, I don't even know if it really works, but it's kind of an old trick where you run electricity around your incoming water line, and it's supposed to descale your water. Not make it less hard, but it's supposed to make the calcium drop out of solution. Does it work? I don't really know. Maybe it works, but it wasn't that hard to put in. And that, of course, is our HRV, which is our heat recovering and ventilation system. That's the controls for it. It's just on the other side of this wall. But that's what pushes air in and out of our house, because our house is so tightly sealed. We don't get any inflow of air. In fact, the whole house is wrapped in 3/4 inch rigid foam from the top of the stem wall, because our stem wall is ICF, so that's the insulated concrete forms. So there's 3 inches of foam on either side of the footer, all the way down to the bottom, all the way down to the footer, I should say. So 3 feet deep. And then from there all the way up to the ceiling, the whole house is wrapped in 3/4 inch foam. So we can have the winds blowing like crazy, and we hardly even hear it, which is kind of nice. But on the flip side, it keeps all of that heat in the house. It took a little extra work, cost me about an extra $1,000, but I'd probably save all of that. I think we did the calculation. We figured we'd save that within 2.5 years. So, I mean, just for energy. Yeah.
That's a substantial return.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, if you think about energy, when you start building, in the long run, you can really save a